Hello everyone, this is Ashley Tucker. Thank you for joining me today. Today I have a different kind of video to share with you. I've had a bunch of people ask me to do a little tutorial on how I create stickers with my stamps using the Scan and Cut. So I have this big pack of sticker paper that I found on Amazon, and I'll put a link below to this paper in case you're interested. This is a matte sticker paper, which is what I prefer, and these are 8.5 by 11 sheets. So the first thing I did is I took them and I cut them in half so that they are 8.5 by 5.5. If you look carefully at this paper, you'll see that one side is really white and the other side is kind of yellow. So you want to do all of your stamping on that white side because that's the side that is going to be turned into stickers, and the yellowy side is the backing paper. My favorite stamps to use for stickers are the Mama Elephant little agenda sets. So I have all of the ones that I own out, and I'm going to be turning all of them into sticker sheets. And the thing that I like to do when I make stickers is I like to make a whole lot of them at once. So I'll put the entire stamp set into my Misti, and I'll stamp it a bunch of times, and I'll do that with each of those sets. I always like to stamp these with a Copic friendly ink because I like to color my stickers with Copics. So the ink that I'm using today is Gina Designs Jet Black Amalgam ink. Alright, so I'm turning on my Scan and Cut, and whenever I turn on my Scan and Cut, this message pops up and I just click through it. I'm pretty sure there's a way to turn off that message in the settings, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. I clicked the little tool button to go into the settings, and I scrolled down to the cut pressure and I turn it down to 1. Next, I set my blade to 2.5. So the settings that you want for your stickers are the cutting blade at 2.5, the cutting pressure at 1, and the cutting speed at 1. Now, depending on what kind of paper you're using, you might need to do different settings, but for this sticker paper, I found that these are the perfect settings for a kiss cut. A kiss cut is when you don't cut all the way through the paper, you're just cutting through that first layer so that you have a sticker sheet that's all together still. If you cut all the way through, that would be die cut stickers. For my first sheets, I'm using a brand new cutting mat because I wanted to show you what it's like to cut these stickers on a brand new cutting mat, which is a really, really sticky mat. I actually prefer to do my stickers on a really old mat that's lost most of its stick, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. I loaded my mat into the machine, pressed the scan button, then the direct cut button, then I selected the Scan and Cut as the device, and then I pressed the start button, and that starts the scanning process. Once the scan is complete, your image should pop up on the screen, and you can select your cutting area by dragging the arrows. I clicked on the button, which has 2 circles, and this is where I can tell the Scan and Cut if I want an outline around my images, which I always like a little bit of an outline, so I bump that up to 0.04, and then I press OK. On the next screen, I click the button on the bottom, which has those 3 shapes, and this is where you can see all of the cuts that are going to be made. You want to use the arrows to click through all of the cuts and make sure that they're all correct. The Scan and Cut might have scanned something incorrectly, and you'll want to delete any unwanted cuts. With these particular images, there's a stamp of a snowman that's melting, and he has all of these little water droplets around him, and because those water droplets aren't part of his body, the Scan and Cut wants to cut them separately. But if that actually happened, it wouldn't look very good because those cuts are going to run into each other. So in order to prevent that from happening, I delete out those cuts by pressing the trash can while they're highlighted, and that gets rid of them. So I'm just going to get rid of all of those little water droplets and just cut out the main body of that snowman. Once I'm happy with all of the cuts that are going to be made, I press the OK button, and then I press the Cut button. After this processes, it's going to tell me how long this cut is going to take, which for this one is 4 minutes, and the Start/Stop button will turn green, which means it's ready to cut. So I press that green button and it starts cutting. When the cutting is done, this screen will pop up and I press OK, and then I unload my mat by pressing the Load Mat button, which is off to the side there, and then I press OK. When it comes to taking the sticker sheets off of the mat, this is where I find that I don't like using a brand new mat because it's just really sticky and the sticker paper is a really thin paper. So taking it off that mat is difficult, and then once you do, it kind of rolls up. So I find that I have to put it under some books to flatten it back out. But once I do, here is the result of my stickers. For the rest of my stickers, I'm going to be using a very old cutting mat. You can see that this mat has seen a lot of use. It's pretty dirty. It's got a lot of cut marks on it, and it doesn't have a lot of stick left, but I find that it works perfectly for these stickers. Because this mat doesn't have a lot of stick left to it, I do have to tape down these sheets so that they don't move around while they're being cut. So I just took some painter's tape and I added a few pieces of that to the top and the bottom of each sheet so that they're nice and secure. I use the same exact settings to cut these, and then when they're done, I find it is so much easier to remove them from the mat than with a brand new, very sticky mat. So here's all of the sticker sheets that I made, and now I want to show you some of the things that I like to do with these stickers. First of all, I think that these are really great to take on the go with you for coloring so that you have them ready to go when you need them later. My absolute favorite thing to do with these stickers is to put them in my planner. I really like to plan out my week, and I like to make my planner look really pretty. I just find it kind of relaxing, and it's like a hobby for me to put together my planner. And I love adding these cute little stickers because they just make me really happy. I usually color my stickers with Copic markers, but I keep that coloring pretty simple. This is a really thin sticker paper, and it's not going to behave as well as your Nina paper, but you can get some good coloring even if you can't go super crazy with the blending. Another really awesome reason that I like to make these stickers is because my toddler is really into stickers right now. So it's nice to be able to make these myself and not have to buy stickers, and I could just give these to her and she can play with them. And I can either let her color them in or I can color them and then she can put them onto her little notebook. Finally, the last reason that I really love making these stickers is for last-minute cards. Now, I have a lot of cards in my stash, but somehow I still find myself not having a card when I need one. I'll have a party to go to, and an hour before I need to go, I realize that I don't have any birthday cards that'll work in my stash. So I think that these sticker sheets are perfect for making last minute cards. If you have a bunch of these already colored in, just hanging around, you can put together a really quick card with some cute characters on it really fast. To demonstrate this, I challenged myself to make a card using the stickers, and I only gave myself 5 minutes to put it together. I made a card base out of sea glass cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, and then I took a pencil and my T-square ruler and I drew a straight line across that card base. I pulled out the Grid Play stencil from Simon Says Stamp, and I used that line that I drew as a guide to help me line up 3 circles across the card using that stencil, and I'm blending those circles with some chipped Sapphire Distress Oxide ink. I used an eraser to get rid of that pencil line, and then I took my already colored in stickers and very carefully placed them on those 3 circles. I picked out a sentiment from the Stop Drop Party stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, and I put that in my Misti Tool and stamped it with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I pulled out my T-square ruler again, and I used a white gel pen to add a dashed line underneath the penguins and the birthday cake, and then I also added a dashed line above them. I used the foam mat from my Misti Tool in order to help me place some post-it tape along the edges of my card. Using the guidelines on that mat helps me to make sure that all of these edges are evenly masked off. I then took my chipped Sapphire Distress Oxide ink and I made sure to tap off my ink blender onto a scrap piece of paper, and then I very lightly blended in on all of the edges of my card, and that masking tape is going to protect those edges so that I'll have a blended border coming in from the edges. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I remove that masking paper. I really love the way that this comes out. I think it's a really fun effect. And that finishes up this really quick card design using those stickers. Thank you for watching today. I hope you really enjoyed this different kind of video and that it helped to teach you a little bit about how to make some stickers with a scan and cut. All of the supplies that I used for this video can be found in the description down below. If you enjoyed watching, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if you want to see more scan and cut videos in the future. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.